years ago for attempting to break into the White House and murder the president. I'm still so disappointed I couldn't pull that off. Though, I guess I've been pretty new to the whole crime thing. I mean, I'd been part of that community for a while, but always watched on the sidelines and never really gotten on the action. It's still worth it for the information I can now use, though. I let my community down. They thought I could do it. However, I lost that trust.
I so thought I was going to get arrested for the rest of my life, which I technically was, but I escaped, and I'm glad that that is over with. Yet, I still wasted 2 years of my life in jail until Lloyd came. 2 years gone, but that is still better than me still being in jail. I seriously thought things were going to turn out better between me and Lloyd since we worked so well together managing to escape from jail. Anyways, I find myself once again wasting my time thinking about the past. It was 7 years ago. I should get over it. I don't want to get arrested all over again.
If my parents ever found out that I didn't escape from jail by myself, they would literally kill me, because I'm not as good at being a criminal as they are with my stepbrother. He's literally amazing at robbing banks. He's just getting better and better. I guess that's why he's always been the better one, since he has pulled like 100 times the schemes that I have, and never been caught. Gosh, I wish I could do that, but lucky me, because I can't do that.
Maybe if I could steal this, I could be like the rogue Phantom, who's like the best criminal in existence. My mission was part of his last mission, until he died. Or at least we think he died. Nobody really knows if he just faked his death or not. But I think he's still out there, waiting to be found, I guess.
He was known for it, or I guess
He was just such a good criminal. He would never bomb a building and then attempt to jump out of it. Unless he wanted to die, but I think it was just an illusion.
He was known for it, or I guess he's still doing it.
Maybe he'll show up when my stepbrother disappears.
Since while they don't act like it, I think they see each other as competition.
Both fighting for more danger and risks. Or maybe he really is gone.
And my half of the world should just move on.
Move on. Leo, we need to talk. We're moving. Down to third floor.
No, please, I can't leave my friends.
Stop overreacting. We're only moving 7 blocks down.
No, that's still so far away. Why didn't you tell me sooner?
Theodore, we've already decided.
Fine, I hate you, Dad. Mom and Dad have been moving big boxes all morning. Our new house is pretty nice, except I still don't understand why we had to move anyway.
I know it sucks, but maybe it was time for a change. Plus, your new house is really big, but you know.
Theo, honey, can I get some help down here? Just a sec, Mom. What were you gonna say, Claire?
Well, everyone says it's haunted.
Ma'am?
Yes, hon?
Could you help me find some old newspapers?
Yes, of course, hon. School project.
Not exactly, just research.
All right. It's so nice to see you youngins interested in library again. Okay, here you go. Now I gotta get back to
Thank
those
you.
books.
Aha! On October 10th, 1969, 3 armed men robbed the jewelry store. No one is quite sure what they stole, except for the store owners, of course, who has refused our interview request. Huh, that's weird. Why would no one know what they stole? Why are you so interested in this place anyway?
I already told you, it's cool because it's haunted.
How do you know?
Do you really think this place was just an old jewelry store that got robbed? There has to be more to it, don't you think?
Come to think of it, I did read an old newspaper saying that they never did know what they stole.
See, that's pretty ominous.
Guess so. Well, here we are, our new home.
What are you youngins doing around here?
What?
Shouldn't be around these parts. They'll come for you.
Who will?
I don't know what they are, but they ruined that jeweler's life. And mine too.
What? Excuse me, sir, but who are you?
Don't matter. All that matters is that you stay away from that place.
But we're moving here.
Well, then you're already a goner.
My gosh, what was that guy's deal?
I don't know, I hope he's not our neighbor.
Come on, Theo, let's explore this new house of yours.
Whoa, this place is huge.
Come on, let's go.
What the?
Newspapers?
These are the same ones I read before. The ones that talked about the robbery.
That's creepy. Why would they have so many of them?
I'm not sure.
Theo, look over there.
There's a door.
Let's open it.
Claire, wait!
A staircase. Whoa, let's go.
Would you stop looking at...
What the heck is that thing?
I think it's like a vault or something.
Maybe it's unlocked.
Okay. Oh man, it's empty.
Theo, look.
A paper? Claire, we should
Yeah.
really stop looking around. What does it
look.
say?
There's something
Yeah.
red on it.
Get out?
Theo, what?
We should stop looking around.
The note.
What?
It's got something red on it. Almost like... We wanted to solve the mystery, find what it all meant. The newspapers, the note, what happened to the old man, all of it. But in the end...
Some mysteries are better left unsolved.
The wind whistled through my hair as I walked through the forest. The bright pink flowers felt soft and delicate as I brushed my fingers across.
The memories were flooding back as I slowly walked across the rows of trees. The promise, the people approaching, my heart racing, then harsh voices and pitch blackness as I struggled to try and break free.
All that happened so long ago, suddenly I stopped. I could see it. I could feel it. That's where she left me and told me she would be back. Then she ran, faster than I've ever seen her run before. And before I knew it, gone.
Gone into the sunset. I spent days waiting for her, telling myself she would return. But slowly, after days, my hope ran out.
Now I paced slowly, past tree after tree, brushing my fingers past the dark, rough, and jagged bark.
Then I saw a small brown bench leaning against one of the pink trees looking lonely, just like me.
Just then, I realized how tired I really was and decided to rest. As I sat down, I took a deep breath.
I looked up past all the trees and saw it, the tiny cottage we used to live in.
It had moss on the roof, big bushes in front, and broken windows. It brought tears to my eyes seeing the condition of my once perfect house.
Oh, it looked so frail that one blow would knock it down.
I ran towards it, hoping to find some answers of her whereabouts. I stopped as I reached the door, took a deep breath, and went in.
Enigma, puzzle, riddle, secret,
Conundrum. Thriller.
Busted. Scary.
confusing,
Problem.
Who?
What?
When? Where?
I looked everywhere.
Suspenseful.
Crazy.
Mind-boggling. Murder.
Disappearance.
Cryptic. Dark. Unanswerable.
Unknowable. Supernatural.
Unexplainable.
Baffling.
Befuddling. Bewildering. Perplexing. Shadowy. Cloudy.
Mask.
Misty.
intangible,
Ambiguous.
Eerie. Weird.
uncanny,
Vague.
Cloaked.
Concealed. Obscured. Shaded.
Yo, my name is Benny and I lost my lucky penny. I asked friend Jenny, where did it go?
We looked everywhere, high and low.
I was asking Joe when I asked where it was.
He said he didn't know. I put my hands to his throat and asked him again. He said he lost it and I lost it.
I proceeded to look everywhere until I got scared. What if it was gone?
It was a real puzzle. I was really confused when I gave it to him because he had a test.
What was I thinking?
Giving it to Bozo Joe.
I checked the math room, the science room, the English room. I was hopeless. I wanted it back. I want to go home. I wanted some cone. I feel so alone. I thought my lucky penny. I used to have a penny, but now I don't have any. But wait.
I forgot about Harold, the king of coins. I might punch him in the groin. I went up to him and asked him again where it
He
was.
said he doesn't know if he was useless. All my penny did was glow. I looked in the mirror.
I saw him on the other side and looked like Clyde. I really need my pride to find my penny.
And my name is Benny, and I have a friend Jenny, and I lost my lucky penny.
But nobody's being friendly!
Now the exact moment in time I remember so well. It was the beginning of sophomore year of college at Hallmark University. Red and blue lights flashing,
Neighbors concerned at 2 a.m.
My roommate Sally, screaming at the police.
blood dripping from my forehead.
Tears welling in my eyes, just waiting to be released.
That was the night I got into what I tried to avoid my whole life. Now, to be fair, I was born into a gang. Mom and Dad are both ace lords. They steal, do drugs, drink, play around with guns, and are just criminals. Both my parents hid me away from their gang life.
But I had always found things in our apartment that showed me my parents weren't normal. For example, when I was 8, I found my dad's gun in his dresser. Or when I was 12, I found piles of money in my mom's jewelry case. Hundreds of bills stacked neatly inside a safety deposit box that wasn't hers. When I was 15, I might have taken a letter from her desk that caused all this, but I was just trying to clean her desk.
Not trying to change my life or get in trouble. I still don't know the words on the letter. I know the gist of it though. I was questioned about every aspect. I'm in jail. I've been in here for 3 years. Whatever that letter said got me here. It was supposed to go to some big drug dealer. That's what I was told. It had to do with one of the biggest drug heists in history, the 5 card deal.
It was the old secrets about the 5 card, and it had a neatly pressed grass green bandana in it. And something from a big meetup of ace lords and 5-card druggies. Maybe a lipstick or a smoke bomb tubed in. Nobody knows how the heist is pulled off. As far as I'm concerned, I'm the FBI's only lead. The heist happened 8 years ago.
I need to please them, even if it means busting my parents. But I have so many issues now. The letter is the least of my worries. Charges are being pressed, and the evidence is stacked against me, even though I had nothing to do with it. My parents are nowhere to be found. They've been hiding is what I'm told. I gotta know the secret behind that heist. I gotta know where my parents are. The therapist says I ask too many questions she can't answer. I'm a criminal to her.
Criminals don't ask questions they already know the answers to. But people think I'm the criminal. People think I might be suicidal or violent because I'm closely related to people who are in a drug heist, even though I was only 12 when it happened. I've never had a mental illness before, and now I think I suffer from 4 or 5. Part of it is that nobody's defending me. Nobody thinks maybe this woman's innocent and actually entered the letter because she's only 12. No one even investigates how I got that letter. The truth is, nobody really cares. For all I know, my own parents turned me in and are stacking the evidence against me. There's too many things I gotta know. I gotta understand everything. I gotta know everything.
Maybe that's my mental illness.
Technical difficulties. Blame the DJ.
Drake, I like to bake. I don't like to group bake. When I saw this guy, I remember he gave me fear. He had a plan, I know him the man.
Then he backed down, and he was out of town. Then he came back the next day. I just want to say.
Not to bother, but stop acting like my father. Just leave me alone, you see I have to be alone. I'm not your man, I don't care about your plan. I just want to ball, not take your fall.
I don't know who you are, but you look like you live far away, maybe in the Bay. I don't know, you came into town just a day ago. You're probably bored. Now you call me, I just click, ignore it.
I don't know who you are, but I do, you're suspicious. I'm eating some pizza right now, it's delicious.
I don't know who you are, but I know that you live in a jar. Now you're at my house, turns out you're just a UPS driver delivering very important flyers.
Augusta wind whipped me in the face as 2 fire trucks went by. Why were there so many? Where were they going? My family and I headed down to Central Park. Oh, police and fire trucks went speeding by. Where were they going? Why were there so many? Bearsville must be, as usual, I thought.
We entered the park and sat down on a picnic. I looked up, and all of a sudden the sky seemed to go dark. All of the grass turned brown, and everyone disappeared. Everyone. Whoa, where'd everyone go?
What? My parents weren't there. I turned back. At least my sister was still there.
She didn't look surprised though. Like what had just happened didn't surprise her. I got it from the bench and walked.
Not even knowing where I was going. The land looked so dead, but it was full of color 5 seconds ago. This place looks so abandoned. I've been here plenty of times, so something wasn't right this time. My sister just nodded and kept walking beside me. Weren't my parents there with us?
I shook that thought as I tried to figure out what just happened. I looked back, but still no one was there. Not even people in the streets. Even lights in the houses Even the lights in the houses were out. Everything was just gone. A piece of paper landed in front of me. Weird, it was all crinkled.
It looked like it just fell from that tree. It looked like it just fell from that tree. No one was in it. How? I turned it over to see if there was any writing on it. There was. It was an address, 1438 5th Street. I turned it over and saw there was more writing on the back. I couldn't make it out though. All I could make out was the date, 1936. 1936? What? I was 100% positive that was not the date. That meant we would have gone back 50 years. Maybe this was just a really old letter. I stared at it for a while. Nope, it talked about a robbery.
A robbery that happened a week ago. This person knew everything about it. How did this person know everything about it? I was sure it was the same robbery. My sister had been so quiet, I forgot she was still with me. I turned to make sure she was still walking with me. My sister gasped. I heard rustling in the bushes. My sister gasped. I turned around.
Come on, it's time to go.
I'm so excited to board the beautiful SS Journey.
You know, I just skipped lacrosse practice for 2 weeks for this.
Oh, come on, give me a break. You should take a vacation for once.
Fine, just this once though.
All aboard the SS Journey.
I'm so excited. This is so cool. Did you see that? That chandelier is so beautiful.
Yeah, I guess it's pretty nice. Ugh, it's so bright. I just want some sleep.
My gosh, you're such a party pooper. You should take a vacation for once. We're literally on a ginormous cruise ship.
No, I'm not a party pooper, and I am enjoying myself. I'm just really tired. Can we just go find our rooms?
Fine, whatever.
Hello, citizens. I'm happy to have you on our newest ship, the SS Journey. Our program has included the all-you-can-eat buffet on the 6th floor, room service, and our new water park on the balcony.
I'm so excited.
I'm just gonna go to my room.
Do you at least want room service?
Nah, I'm good. I'll eat in the morning.
Okay, I'm going to the pool and get a drink. See you in the morning.
Okay, good night. What was that?
Connor, did you also just feel that?
Yeah, I felt something, almost like we just slammed into something.
Sorry for the slight inconvenience, passengers. It seems we've run into a storm. Do not panic. We'll have everything in control in no time.
Oh shoot, I think I'm going to be sick.
Oh gosh, here, wait, I'll get the trash can. Didn't they say they have this under control in no time? It feels as though we're about to tip over. Connor, where are you?
I'm right here.
Now the generators are out. I think I'm having a panic attack. Oh, thank goodness. I thought we were gonna die.
You always overreact, Kelly.
No, I don't.
Sorry, folks. We'll have to dock in North Carolina due to damages in the boat and ocean conditions.
Oh, come on.
I am so glad. I'm missing lacrosse practice for this. Now we can't even go on the cruise.
Yeah, it sucks. I wonder what happened.
I mean, obviously it's bad enough that we have to dock. Let's go up and see what happened. Bring your bags just in case.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Unfortunately, the SS Journey has major damages and we will not be able to continue our trip to the Bahamas. Everyone, please grab your bags and head to the dock. We reserved hotel rooms for passengers for the night. Please advise the hotel lobby that you're passengers of the SS Journey.
I wonder what happened. I mean, obviously it's bad enough that we already live here and we just went out for the trip. But I wonder what happened.
Hi, we were checking in from the Dream.
What are you even saying? Isn't that the cruise ship that went missing like 8 years ago and they never found the boat? What have you been talking about? Look out there, it's right there. Wait, what? How? I'm sorry, but you all have pronounced dead for 8 years, 2 months, and 23 days. What? Excuse me, ma'am, but I'm clearly not dead.
Wait, ma'am, what's the date?
The date is September 12th, 2021.
What?
I'm sorry, you two, but we will have to escort you to our Darks Hotel. You will be undergoing interrogations tomorrow.
This is ridiculous. I demand answers.
Well, rooms aren't that bad. Okay, well, I'm going to sleep. See you tomorrow.
Good night, I guess.
Exactly. Where were you for 8 whole years?
What are you even talking about? I just boarded the cruise 2 days ago.
Lee, she's being difficult.
I see. What about you, Connor Parker? What is your case?
What was that? Oh my god, the SS Journey is on fire.
All subordinates, get to the dock!
As we peered out through the window, smoke rose from the boat. Fire was raging from the back of the ship. We watched as horror as the SS Journey capsized and slowly sank into the peninsula.
No one was killed. Well, no bodies were found. The mystery of the passengers aboard the SS Journey was never resolved.
Over the years, there were many mysterious disappearances all over the country. One thing all the victims had in common is they were aboard SS Journey June 13th, 2013.
We're the only ones left.
My name is NJ Gray. I'm here to say I'm having a great day.
There was a man, but he had a plan. He was scuffed with sand. He had about 10 grand.
He went to a dark hole. He met a guy named Paul.
They had a fight. I saw it on sight. He made him Paul. Paul started to crawl.
He was dying and crying. And then he said, "Stop, please." He said he has the keys. But to what? He said it was to a world of luck. He declined the offer.
He said he got to get home to his daughter. Apparently he was a father, so he let him know. Next thing you know, they didn't act like foes and they kept it on the low.
The story is ending. Paul's injury is still pending.
The moral of the story is always keep your glory.
Now, example. Now, something that is difficult or impossible to explain. Example, the 1920s murder, the ghost train.
So what am I? The unknown?
Accusation.
Perplexity.
True intention shown.
Because of me, people argue, blame.
For what? Such a shame. Lies and truth. What does it matter? Nothing to me, but all you do is chatter.
You want to know as if I do. I don't know why. Neither do you.
Instead of asking, you make responses. Don't question, just think what you want.
When death's involved, you want revenge. Why do you care? Their life has come to an end.
Just leave me an answer, one stone unturned, or maybe a handful. Don't be so concerned.
After all, I'm just questions. You're waiting to ask. Knowledge you can't quite grasp.
I deceive you.
I lie.
Solve me.
Just try.
They'll never suspect the little girl. Such a sad life story. So innocent, with an alcoholic mother.
Always called weird.
No friends.
My life is already laced with problems and puzzles.
Why my mother tried to kill me, though she made it look like an accident.
They'll never figure out how I've been able to get the pills.
Or if I jumped out the window.
But I know that my mother didn't want me, so she tried to get rid of me. Yet another thing I and others will puzzle on why she didn't succeed.
Though at the time, no one seemed to care. The riddle aspect of my life is mostly in other views. First, the notes. The dark ones, of course. It was just a prank, or so they thought. Although it raises another question. Why would me and Nora be friends? I know, and I think she does now by too. Poor Nora. Although I must admit, I was very smart to make friends with her.
She was the perfect suspect. When I killed Billy, of course I suspected her first. She was older than me, being 13, and I was only 10. But the questions I left behind didn't start then. They started when I tried to strangle Susie.
Then they got worse. Nora was the one who snitched. But as I go on with life, the puzzles don't go away, which is fair.
Why'd she kill him?
How could she sit there laughing as a little boy died?
Did she feel sorry or care?
How did she learn to strangle?
How'd she escape from prison?
Why wasn't she in a higher risk prison? Even in families I didn't know existed, I caused perplexion, puzzlement, secrecy, like Billy Howe's sisters. For 9 years they didn't know what happened to their brother, or why their mother and father were always quiet, or why they were pulled out of school the day I escaped from prison, though they didn't know the importance of that day. Maybe some questions will never get answered.
Oh, fantastic. Great. So, let's give it up for 7-4, the Chaos.
Like the ocean. At times it's
it's calm when waves wash up on shore.
And at other times, it's not like when the waves are big and going in different directions.
It's like the forest. Sometimes it is peaceful, like when the birds are chirping in the morning. At other times, it is unrest, when the prey is being hunted by the predator.
It can sometimes be both at the same time, but it is never balanced out.
There's always too much of one, and there always will be. Like light and darkness, never balance.
Never
peace,
never hope,
life and death, love and hate, good and evil, opposites.
Not a chance. Going to town would be way too risky. Not to mention stupid. We could be killed in the next raid. Everyone else was slaughtered last time.
Really, Brian? The soldiers came to our town because of how small and vulnerable it was. We'd be totally safe in a well-established city. But fending for ourselves would be smarter. They wouldn't have a chance of finding us.
The city down the road is well guarded. They wouldn't try to hurt us. We would be common travelers. We can be safe there.
Would you be willing to risk living through calamity again?
Absolutely. Fine, try it your way.
We will.
We made it. I can see the town.
Finally, we have to find a place to stay for the night.
Yeah, let's get going before it gets dark.
Hey, you two, turn around. You're way too short. Right half that person is 6'4".
What?
Yes, your hair is too long.
Yeah, no hair below the shoulders.
Excuse me?
You can't wear black soled shoes.
Huh? You have to wear burgundy socks. This is crazy. Ada, this seems way too orderly.
Definitely.
We need to find shelter.
Are you kidding me? We need food.
No, we need shelter. It's getting dark.
No, I don't want to starve. Maybe it was a better idea just to go to the city.
Maybe it was, but we're here now and we have to do something.
We need a plan or a map or just directions.
You're right, we need to get organized.
We are surrounded by wreckage of our making. We only got here because of confusion, misunderstanding, broken trust,
Lies.
Yet some of us feel through the smoke, driven on a course of action. We cannot hear them. Over the droning of our thoughts, buzzing, indecisive, torn. So we stand, feeling the sharp edge of broken concrete, falling to curb what used to be a railing. At least, that's what we assume.
We have no words for what is unfamiliar.
No words for what is.
No words, just buzzing. We thought we knew our whereabouts. We thought we knew our surroundings. We thought we knew how to organize our thoughts.
Turns out we thought a lot of things. Guiding, leading, changing, respecting, listening, honoring. If we had truly known how to do these things, would we be here, in these ruins?
Probably.
But we would know how to get out of the smoke. Everything has happened so fast. It started when I went into the courtroom. My heart was beating so fast I felt as though it would pop through my chest. I would see him, the one that killed my best friend Luke. Luke didn't deserve this. He was kind, strong, and empathetic. Even 10 years later, I still remember every detail. The black car with the tinted windows.
The arm of the Glock went out the window and
Blam, blam.
blam.
We were just kids. I was 14, he was 15. Even 10 years later, I still remember his final breath. In the courtroom, I remember everything that happened.
They said it was a hopeless cause. Now I stand here to face him. That soulless killer will get what he deserves, even if it means my own death. He'll receive the punishment he deserves. Death.
I experienced something a human being should never witness. I saw him die.
I saw every ounce of blood that poured from his body. Luke was a brother to me. He took care of me when I had nothing from my parents. He gave me shelter, food, and love. Up until that day, I lived a happy life playing basketball and other games with him.
Blam. Blam.
Blam.
And then Luke left. I promised myself whoever did this would pay for what they did to me. To him. To my life.
A memory branded into my brain. I tried to find him. I looked through streets, newspapers, even houses.
I never found it, but finally, another shooting occurred when he was arrested.
The memory repeats over and over. The black sedan blasting music. The hand sticks out of the car with the pistol.
Blam. Blam.
Blam.
Silence. I slowly regain my focus.
The first thing that I see is Luke's body limp. His blank eyes staring at me as if expecting me to do something. I call his name over and over again. He never responds. I faintly hear someone calling an alarm.
Somebody call 911.
I look down the street and the sedan is gone, but in its wake a horrific sight. When I go through these doors into the courtroom, he'll experience the pain that I felt, and I will finally be at peace.
There is a balance between the light and the dark. Within the light there is darkness, and in the darkness there is light. Dark, however, is not all about day.
Dark is not always death and hate and suffering. It is varied as confusion, freedom, disorder, and fun. In the light there may lie suffering and a yearning for freedom.
As in the concept of the yin and the yang, two sides in the same experience contain some of each other. We often see light as good and darkness as evil, but in the light only comes similarity, a lack of diversity.
With darkness there can be freedom, or no panic.
Neither one is terrible or evil, because both are always active in our world. As people, we're expected to follow the light and respect rules or order created by others for the common good of everyone.
Some rules are important and beneficial, but others can be negative forms of life. For example, judging people by how they look.
At the same time, no light will cause an obliteration of hope and lead to more confusion. When all of us wake up, we find light in getting dressed, brushing our teeth, and eating breakfast.
But to balance out that light with dark, we might wear different clothes, eat different food, and prefer different toothpaste.
In the evening, we all eat dinner and go to bed.
But again,
we do these differently.
With different food.
And various nightly activities, like watching TV or going on a family walk.
There is light and dark in our pandemic.
Light in masking and social distancing and getting vaccinated.
But some would protest and riot against these rules, designed to keep us safe.
Embrace the darkness.
In our world, these opposing concepts shape what we know and are constantly at play.
In the light and dark, we can find a balance in our lives.
Life is disarray, it causes me dismay. When will time end? Dying seems a trend.
Sadness, death, pain, guilt. The cycle of suffering. How will we stop it?
Life is way too fast. Getting older every year. Gone in a flash.
7th grade is hard. Middle school, I guarantee middle school sucks. High school will be worse.
Creativity. It's fantasy and play. Imagination.
Disarray and law. Opposites yet still the same. We cannot escape.
My friends are insane. Don't you agree? Don't you see? Don't tell about this.
Order in the court! Yeah, order. Shut up! My word applies to you too. Miles Reed has claimed that Miss Watson has sexually harassed him in many ways that include... Oh my. Mr. Reed, is this what you said?
Exactly, Your Honor.
Is this true, Miss Watson?
I do not recall any of this happening. I've never met this man, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I object. There are many witnesses of Miss Watson escorting me to an empty room while I was under the influence of alcohol at a party.
Are there any statements from these witnesses? I'd like to remind you that I'm in the court, but yes, there are several witnesses and all are in line with Mr. Reed's story. I can announce with confidence that Miss Watson is guilty.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Miss Watson, you do understand that these charges are punishable by arrest?
Yes.
Then please do not struggle being escorted to the door on my left. Hey you, yes, they're journalists. Now would also be a good time for you to hit the exit. I hope you have enough content to create your next story.
I don't create my stories. I simply tell them.
Just make sure to tell them truthfully.
Yes, of course, Mary. I'll be leaving now.
That seems like a good plan.
Here you are, sir, the weekly paper of June 13th.
Thank you, my dear.
A 23-year-old woman named Emily Watson has been sexually assaulted by a 21-year-old man by the name of Miles Reed. Miles Reed has pressed charges against Emily with a false story and has won the case on account of a sexist judge. Emily has been falsely accused and arrested. I deny any of this is true. I've never met this man, Your Honor, Emily stated, showing how drunk she was and that she had difficulty recognizing Miles. Emily is not currently in therapy to help with her trauma, but wishes to be. Because of financial issues, she is unable to fight against Miles or afford the help she needs. So, a donation to our organization would greatly improve the odds for Emily Watson.
What? The journalist was literally in the courtroom. How could you twist the story so much? It took so much for me to be vulnerable and speak out against Emily and the things she did. And this is what I get in return?
Hello, sir. What can I do for you today?
Hi, I'm Miles Reed.
Oh, you mean you're the one who asked that girl what was her name? Emily something?
No, that's not what happened at all. I'm assuming you learned about my predicament from the article in the paper this morning?
Yes.
Well, that's not how all that went down. You see, the court was correct. Judge Smith made the right decision in...
Oh, Judge Smith was in charge of this case? He's a dear friend of mine. I trust his decision completely. So, Emily was the one charged with sexual assault, am I correct?
Yes, that's what I was harassed by Emily.
And wasn't the journalist in the courtroom? Wasn't the journalist in the courtroom? How did they come up with such a fictional story?
I don't know, Judge. He was in the courtroom.
And didn't the article say that donations were being accepted? That means they were collecting money for completely false cause. This is highly illegal.
Yo, but I need you to do something about the article and the author.
Of course, Mr. Reed.
Sir, the weekly paper of June 20th.
Thank you, Mikey.
The journalist Rosalind Marsh has been arrested today after she illegally convinced the court of changing the outcome of a case involving sexual assault. Emily Watson sexually assaulted Miles Reed, but Miles Reed was accused of sexual harassment by the public. It turns out that the court was correct and Miles Reed was actually innocent. No further charges were pressed.
So the police officer did fall through. Dope. Now at least one piece of false information has been removed from the world. I should leave the officer a call to thank him. Maybe humanity still deserves a little bit of my faith.
In the streets, howling with screams, sadness creeps.
Anger leaps on the people who just can't sleep.
Why, oh why,
When people cry,
no one tries
to help that guy.
to pass the lie.
I lie awake,
Full with hate, due to the way things have to be.
Up on that hill, all you can see
Is a land
full of war and greed.
I said the red pulled the trigger, looked at me and said, Ronaldo, I asked my boy why he joined. He said he gets 5 fingers, he killed 9, all the bullets are bullseyes, head hitters. I've seen so much red on red, red on blue, red on brown. But they died, God. Were they already dead to you? That was the only way that they could pay their debts to you? The red said, leave, exactly from where it came. Now your mom doesn't want to see a name engraved down, but I'm still waiting for yours, light to shine down. In the Connecticut, there's a phone for that. We laugh weed, and we believe. To the death that you meet, we've all seen. We will guns as soon as they get clean, they were born with a killer embedded in their spleens.
Madness with a trap beat, gang face Sony, for guns to take a backseat, the death is nasty. Madness with a trap beat, gang face Sony, guns to take a backseat, the death is nasty. Madness with a trap beat, gang face Sony, for guns to take a backseat, the death is nasty. Madness with a trap beat. This is madness with a trap beat.
That's the write your rap sheet. The one about the murder street beat. Get loose with the happy feet. And every day's a day we can try it. Parents are dying, kids are alone.
Baby.
Seeing the body of the corpses on my phone.
Daily.
We have to lives when you come cops, they be dying.
While he's crying, while he's praying for God to prevail, time stand still. And even in the pause that causes death, murder, and loss, our hurts considered false. Tired of our lives being turned and tossed to please the boss, so they don't kill us all. Wait for the ball, like Eminem waited for the call. Killing El Chicos like Pablo Gonzalo. Push V waiting, death beam ready to brawl.
But death is a ride, and I don't want to try. No watching blood on my hands, my boys leave the street. They be stacked couple grand, cause they just killed someone's childhood friend. These people were somebody's family, a village they were hereditary blind to. Your way to say that there's a dangerous place, I can't blame you. Tell them this so you're not in shock. This is a PSA like Cage Flock.
Gangsters racing up, young Pablo Escobar.
One pop ends up going too far.
Decades of bodies hindered under red tar.
Dogs pointed out sedans like in the car.
Even the greatest like pop stars.
Not with my ideas, I'm not trying to spar.
Or word just might be synonyms.
We refuse to start hearing them.
Saying that words are just homonyms.
So do me a favor, find death and find the acronym.
I'm wreckage, destruction, pain.
I'm the cause of many sorrows.
I surround everyone with confusion and ruin.
And yet, some of us rise to the occasion.
Some of us dare to defy.
Some of us.
But never all.
Some of us surrender to a cluttered life, full of messy ways.
And foggy haze with nothing to guide us.
But sometimes the rest of us, who have managed to escape the chains, can shine light. Some of us choose organization, choose the better, stronger, healthier path.
We choose to live our lives without causing others pain.
We show them that there is a way.
A way to escape.
The way.
To freedom but fun.
The life that others shun.
The life no one but us understands.
We choose life.
Anger, violence, war, jealousy, revenge, madness. This is disorder.
Laziness, silence, procrastination, too much. This is also disorder. The unknown, fear, change. One variable too big, the uncertainty.
Creativity. This is also disorder. It is many things. When faced with pressure,
We are unsure how to act.
The fear lurking near.
So many deadlines.
The pressure of missing work.
hair becoming white.
This madness, so strong. It is imagination.
Just misunderstood.
We are just this way.
We make our own confusion.
It is how we live.
The lightning was flashing before my eyes.
The thunder was so loud and booming.
I was zooming every which way.
I was lost.
I couldn't find the comforting door of my home.
Everything was so peaceful the day before.
But I felt so alone. But the trees were falling down.
Being ripped apart.
The whole forest was being destroyed.
I feel so dizzy.
I couldn't see where I was going.
It was so dark.
I was scared as hell.
And then I fell.
As I was running, the ground disappeared from under my feet.
I felt like I was floating.
And then I woke up.
The storm was over.
I
I didn't know where I was.
Carnage. I watched them rise, fall, the endless turmoil of life and death. Death. Death has no mercy. Death does what it pleases. Death is the way of life. There's no life without death.
They try to stop death. It does not listen. Humans create death, life, war, war.
War. They try to save lives by taking others, an endless loop. Take one life, avenge it by taking many more.
There were more than a dozen extinction level events even before the dinosaurs got theirs.
When the earth starts to settle, the universe throws a stone at it. And believe me, it's winding up. Do you see the beauty of it? The inevitability. They rise, only to fall. Their swift and terrible sword, and the earth will crack with the weight of their failure. They try to purge me from their lives. It means nothing.
And when the dust settles, the only thing left in this world
Will be carnage.
Confusion, madness, havoc, mayhem, commotion.
The world is ending.
Maybe it's poison.
Maybe it's an accident.
Death is always death.
The world is corrupt, endlessly fighting for rights. Where's our future?
A world of structure.
It cannot always be that way. Who knows what's coming? Under a strict rule,
Every day is the same. Can we rebel now? This is punishment.
my thoughts are surrounding me.
Nobody wants this. Death and destruction is all around you. The flames are closing in. War, the thing that has destroyed humanity over time.
Bodies scattered everywhere. The destruction has caused our world to fall and crumble after the battle of life and death.
I walk over to the rubble of my old home, then I fall. I fall through darkness and suddenly feel dizzy. I could not see, I could not breathe.
I think about death and the world around me. I'm swallowed by darkness. But then I see it, the light.
The world around me has suddenly become bright.
It can cause mass destruction.
It can cause death.
It comes in the form of meteors and massacres.
but like burning a field after harvest, it can be welcome or needed.
You cannot have it without a counterpart. There are always two sides to the coin. Similar, yet distinctly different. Caught in an endless cycle of balance and unbalance.
Sometimes it's better to let fields grow in peace, but not to disturb the natural order. Flames can always be put out by water, but if a flame melts the ice, the water will put it out. It takes form in war, bombs raining, bullets flying, blood spraying.
Flames fly overhead, and as cannons fire deadly rounds at them. Diplomacy is the counterpart, solving issues with words, not bullets. They can be heirs of peace before a war breaks out. It takes form in volcanic eruptions and floods.
The rushing water or flowing magma destroy and kill. Its counterpart in communities building dams and walls around volcanoes. There is always something to balance out the forces.
The human art. How we live, how we are. Is it a benefit? Well, it depends on your point of view. You may say that we need to stay organized, both physically and mentally. You may say that it is the thing that keeps us going, gives us a good feeling in life.
You may also say that it sucks, traps us in a cycle of do this, do that. You may say that it controls us, and that we don't get a chance to be ourselves. Which is right. In fact, there is no right answer. I already said so. It depends on your point of view. Both opinions are true. We are given a good flow in life and are able to stay organized a lot better.
However, it does control us. We are given little freedom on what we can do, and maybe a little too controlling. Think of the old Indian caste system. Priests, warriors, merchants, servants, and the untouchables. Sure, people had specific roles they had to do and specific rules they had to follow. They gave the Indian way of life a specific and unique way of life.
However, you could say it was a little too controlled. Once you're born into a certain caste, you stay that level. There is no hope for you to go up.
Everyone thinks it's beneficial, but look at the people at the top of any hierarchy. I admit they may be good people and do good things. Most of the time it's all for the profit. They're all trying to look good, turn popularity. Why?
Simple. Because they're making a bigger mess than there already was. Very messy indeed. That, my friends, is the human art. It always has been, since the beginning of the world.
We say we are helping, we say we are being good. We claim that being this or doing that will help us in the long run.
But think carefully, my friends. Who is really helping? Are they really helping, or are they just creating a bigger and more serious problem?
Think of climate change in a way. Let's say there are people who work at a factory. They go about in their individual lives saying things like, we have to save the planet, and we have to stop using fossil fuels and help the environment.
However, they continue to work at that factory. If they really wanted to help, they would stop working at the factory.
I won't argue with them. They need it to survive. But my point here is that they're creating a bigger mess than there already was. People are wrecking the world every single day.
There's nothing that can be helped. Sure, if there's a small problem, we can repair the problem. But if the mess becomes too great to handle, it's over. No living human can help nor save the earth. Why? Because we're only humans.
This is something embedded in our culture, in our lives. How hard is it to get rid of systemic racism? Very hard, I tell you. Even I could be racist sometimes.
The human art is very hard to get rid of.
Just like racism, it's embedded into our lives, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Confusion, mayhem, bedlam, structure, system, arrangement. The calm before the storm that follows.
The mess we get ourselves into, the way we get out. Through all this time, we are following something. Not always precisely, but always following it. Leaving the world in shambles after we fail to follow directions. Leaving the world in shambles after we follow directions too closely.
Through all this time, we do not know what is happening, as we are never in full control, whether that means following other people or just not following any type of plan.
Our life can be entirely described by this concept. Following and taking out commands or blowing off and completely ignoring the plan. We are constantly doing both as we follow some rules, but are never doing exactly what we should be doing.
All the violence, protests, groups, come out of our need to stray from what is considered right, creating tension, happiness, and peace for others, while others deal with the disarray of the situation unfolding in front of them.
When two people fight, it's all due to the little details. How one person gravitates or goes away from the bigger crowds. How the other person takes these actions and turns it into craziness or happiness.
People often say, every choice you have made up until this point has led you here.
I find this to sound crazy and overdramatic, but in reality what they're saying is true.
All of the mayhem and peacefulness you have decided to go towards or away from has changed you as a person and what other people will think of you.
All of these moments of feeling resurrected and crazy is part of this category. This
Seemingly shallow but actually quite deep concept of finding balance in life.
Recess would be appropriate sort of thing.